Good morning, greetings. Welcome to the Art of Greatness. My name is June Allen, and I help Black women who struggle with self love, sisterhood, and sobriety. So, welcome to the Art of Greatness today. I hope you are having a good week so far. So, this week's topic is all about I have a great new self-awareness tool that I want to share with you. I'm really super excited about sharing this with you. It's been an absolute game changer. Okay, it's been an absolute game changer for me. So I just thought, you know what? I switched out the live stream that I was going to do with you this week because I really wanted to share this tool with you. So, it's great. It's great to be here. Really great to be here. So, just for those of you that don't know who I am, I run a Black women's wellness mastermind called the Sacred Sister Sanctuary. And this month, we're actually going to be talking about sacred understanding, which is all about understanding racism as a system, understanding white fragility, and really getting an idea as to the intricacies of it. Sometimes we can be confused about exactly what racism is. There's a lot of debate about that. So, in this month's masterclasses, we are going to be diving deep into the work of the amazing psychologist, Dr. Frances Cresswell. So we're going to be looking at one of the essays that she wrote, and also we're going to be looking at another essay which is all about white fragility. Okay, so the psychology of racism is going to be the topic this month as part of our self-love essentials. This is my signature course in my mastermind. So if you're interested in joining us for those classes, then you can click the link in the bio, go to heal.juneallen.net. That's heal.juneallen.net. That's heal.juneallen.net. The other thing that I wanted to share before I kind of get into the content is I also still have 101 free simple self-love tools, which you can also get by going to the same link. And there's loads of really, time friendly, low cost ideas, suggestions, what you can use to take care of yourself. Obviously, we're in very difficult times at the moment. In London here, we're trying to deal with getting out of lockdown now, which is I'm so glad we've got some dates now. So it's been a tough year for a lot of us, for all of us, it's been a tough year. So just having some really tools, some really easy, simple tools that you can use to take care of yourself as we continue to do our best is really helpful. So this is absolutely free. So obviously just click the link in the bio and then you can have the conversation there. Hi, thanks for joining. You can download your free PDF there. So that's a little bit of the introduction around me. So let's get back to today's topic, which is all about, I want you to check out this new self-awareness tool. Okay, this new self-awareness tool. So what I'm going to be talking about today is these mood cards. Okay, these amazing mood cards. Now, one of the things that comes up quite often when I'm working with people is this whole idea around not being able to identify or clarify their feelings. There's a sense of numbness, and that's a survival technique that a lot of us have used. And as Black women, a lot of us are so busy. A lot of us are single parents, trying to juggle work, taking care of the home, taking care of children, whatever it is. A lot of us are doing a lot of juggling, and we don't always, I know this is going to sound really strange, but then what that means is a lot of us don't always have the time to kind of check in with ourselves to see what's going on. We can't, and over time, when we keep pushing down a lot of our feelings, it means that we're numb. We become numb to it. We become so used to not paying attention to what's going on in our body that when we are given the opportunity to pause and think about how we feel, we don't really know what to do. We don't really know what it means to actually check in with ourselves. We don't really understand our feelings. Sometimes our feelings will leak out in different ways. So with a combination of the stuff that's going on in your current life, trying to deal with the stuff that's going on with the pandemic, trying to work, all of that kind of stuff. And then if you have any historical stuff that's going on, that stuff still might be, any unresolved issues in the past, that might still be impacting how you're able to function in the present. And then also trying to deal with COVID. And then we obviously, because we live under the system of racism, we're still having to deal with all of these things. So our stress levels are layered, which means there's more chance that a lot of us are numb, because that, pushing away all of that stuff or not really thinking about the impact of all of that stuff, is going to create where we're just not conscious of what we're doing, because we're having to push all of that down because we don't have the bandwidth, or we don't have the time or whatever to really explore it. So by the time a lot of the clients come to me, one of the, an important part of the healing process is getting back in touch with those feelings, creating space for you to be able to really explore it, understanding yourself. As we say a lot in the Black community, the importance of know thyself. Know thyself is not just about pyramids. It's not just about learning about our history. It's also about understanding who you are as a human being, understanding who you are as a Black woman. So one of the ways that I really encourage that, I do have like a feelings and needs sheet, and this is some of the classes that we did earlier on in the year was all about how to create a really nourishing daily practice around your racial wellness. We did a thing around how to create racial wellness goals, all of that kind of stuff. But in order to do all of that stuff, you have to be able to understand your emotions. You have to be able to have a relationship with that part of yourself. So it's just it was really great to be able to do those masterclasses. If you do join the mastermind, there's recordings of all of those things as well, so you can catch up and do them at your own pace. So you get the opportunity to join live to talk about how you're getting on, but also the recordings are there if you want to catch up. So those things are still there if you still want to join the mastermind at any time. So back to these mood cards. And we do talk about in the live sessions as well, the healing circles. We do the check-ins where the women are allowed to just have a conversation, just pause and have a conversation with themselves, like, okay, well, how am I feeling today? What's going on with me today? And sometimes the women find it difficult. So one of the things that I loved about these mood cards is they help those of us that are struggling. I have, as I said before, in the mastermind, I have sheets already with feelings and needs and stuff on there. But I really liked these mood cards because they go into a bit more depth. So this one, okay, this was the first box that was published, and these are what I like to call more foundational type feelings. And there's a lot of, you can see here, there's a lot of different like little faces and stuff on there with it. Sometimes of them have got like little descriptions as to what the feeling or whatever might mean. So that's the really good thing. So first of all, you'll be able to identify. So when you get quiet, and I use these every day now. Hi, thanks for joining. You just go through the cards and just pick out one. Okay, well, that one resonates with me now. And the good thing about these cards as well, sometimes I'll think that I feel something, but then when I go through the cards to pick how I feel, pick something that resonates with me, it's actually not the feel. Sometimes it's not the feeling that I think is going on. So that's one of the reasons why I really like them. So I'm just going to pick a couple, okay, so that you can get a bit of an idea as to how to use them. So let's just pick, let's see. Okay, so let's pick fear. This one on the top is fear. Okay, so there's a little there's the obviously what the emotion is at the bottom, and then at the top there's a little bit, it says something bad might happen, and a little emoji or whatever. And on the other side, okay, they have a list of questions what you can either discuss with somebody else, or you can do it in your journal if you're by yourself. And then there's an affirmation at the bottom. So the questions on the back, this one says, what are you afraid of? Okay. 2, is there any evidence to support this fear? And then number 3, how do your fears affect your life? And what would you like to do about it? What would you like to do about the fear? Okay, so you can do these, you can explore these in your journal, as I said, or with somebody else. I've really enjoyed using these with my daughter, actually. She loves these. My daughter's 13. And sometimes, when I've said to her in previous sessions, because what we do is we have like a little check-in in the morning, and we have like in the evening, we have a check-out session. Just so I can really stay connected with her. It's a way that we can just kind of explore what's going on. If there's been any conflict or anything during the day, we can resolve them, whether it's morning or evening. But these cards have really, really helped for her to start to build her own emotional literacy, but to also give her, some tools as to how to, what the solution can look like, or how to just unpack what's going on for her. So, this fear one, and it's come up quite a lot this week, because obviously she's going to be going back to school next week. So we've been having conversations about, what that might mean and what the anxiety is about. And, fear of going back into class, not necessarily because of the virus or anything, but just being out of that sort of routine for such a long time, because it's been a year. It's been nearly a year since that we've been in and out of lockdown. We've not really had any proper structure around school. So, yeah, I found it really, really useful. So if you've got teens, if you've got children, it's really, really helpful to be able to give them an opportunity to really explore what's going on. So then obviously once me and my daughter tend to discuss the questions or whatever that comes up. And then we think about the affirmation. So the affirmation on the one on fear, it says, I breathe in love. I breathe out fear. I enjoy life to the max. I am fearless. So that's really quite a nice way of kind of stepping into another way of kind of reframing what the fear is about, and you can take that affirmation with you through the day. So that's kind of like one of the emotions there. Let me just pick one that's an uplifting one, then I can show you the difference between. Let's see. Okay, so let's pick this one. Okay, so this one is hopeful. So it's got like a smiley face, and the top says "Bring it on." I don't know if you can see it properly in the top. It says "Bring it on." So the questions are: what are you hopeful about? Number 2, what do you see for yourself in the future, in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time? Number 3, what are the steps you need to take to achieve that? Write them down. And then the affirmation is, I am optimistic about the future. I have faith that all will be well as it is. I have faith that all will be well and as it should be. Okay. So yeah, so that's one of the more uplifting ones. That one was hopeful. So can you see how in just giving yourself a few minutes every day just to pick out these cards will help you to not only get clarity around how you're feeling, but also how you can move forward with it. And I love the fact that there is sort of, there's uplifting ones and challenging ones as well. They're not positive or negative. There's no negative emotions, okay? There's no such thing as the negative emotions, because all emotions are data. They're all information. That's how I see it. So there's challenging ones and there's uplifting ones. So they're all there to help and help us to understand ourselves better as human beings. So that's the first box, okay, which I call the more foundational feelings. So that's really good. Now they've got another box. They published a second box, these are kind of more grown up, and these ones are called Understanding Deep Emotions. If you want to know where to get these from, if you click the link in my bio, go to heal.juneallen.net. That's heal.juneallen.net. That's heal.juneallen.net. All the information about the link where you can buy all these cards and stuff are all on my website. Okay. So now this second box is a bit more, these are called Explore More Complex Emotions and Behaviors for Healing, Happiness and Inner Peace. So they've kind of like there's 50 of these ones, well, 42 in the other box, 50 in this box. So these ones talk about, feelings, behaviors and whatever that are just a lot more adult. So as an example, okay, there's one here on self-harm. Okay, there's one here on self-harm. So the questions are: when did you begin to self-harm? What started it? Did you talk to anyone at the time? What happened? Question 2, what self-harming behaviors do you engage in? How do they help you? How does this affect your life? And number 3, imagine a happy life. What needs to change to make that a reality? And the affirmation is, I will win the battle with myself. I am a warrior and survivor. My light shines bright, guiding me to stability and peace. So, first of all, I just want to say, if you are self-harming, okay, then, it's great if you can actually find a really great support space, therapist, whatever it is, in order for you to talk about this. Because obviously, hurting yourself is, especially as a long-term thing, is something that you would need some support around that. So if you want some support around, inbox me, or you can email me info@yardofgreatness.com if this is something that is something that you're struggling with and you want some support around that. I'll be able to signpost you to some some great resources in order for you to do that. But yeah, that's just an example of self-harm. They've got things like ADHD and stuff in here as well. This one here, passive aggressive. So yeah, there's just a lot more like deeper emotions in this second box that are more adult, that are going to give you the opportunity to explore more complex issues around emotions. But I really love these cards. I think they're really, really good, and they've really helped. And actually, just seeing these cards and just using them the way that I've been using them, it's actually inspired me to I'm going to actually make my own, because obviously there's no cultural context in these. These are great, but there's no cultural context in them. And a lot of the journal prompts and the work that I do in my mastermind they do have a cultural context. So for me, that not only are they really helpful for me, but I can also see how I can take this idea about using the emotions cards and actually creating a set that actually is applied to us as Black people, that are relevant to us, using our own language, using our own obviously the emotions and stuff will be similar, but the questions and stuff that I can help you to explore what's going on would be from a cultural context from being a Black woman living under the system of racism, which will be, I think, a lot more helpful. So these are a great start, but I'm definitely going to make my own, so watch this space for that. And if you go to my website again, join the mailing list, and obviously you can stay caught up to the developments and stuff, because I'd love to get some of these cards done. I've already started thinking about the emotions that actually that are more relevant to what we're going through and stuff like that, because there's some words that are not in there that she hasn't used that I think would actually be more suited for us to be able to explore what's going on for us. So that's it. Those are the things that I wanted to share with you today. A fantastic tool. So yeah, if you want to get a copy of those cards, either one, the foundational box or the ones that are understanding more deeper emotions, click the link in the bio, go to heal.juneallen.net. That's heal.juneallen.net. That's heal.juneallen.net. Okay, so if you know somebody who is struggling with their wellness and would like to get this tool, or if you've got any other questions about anything that I've shared today, please, you can either send me a direct message or you can email me info@yardofgreatness.com. If you're interested in joining us for the mastermind, this Sunday's class is going to be all about, we're actually reviewing our goals. I talked earlier about setting racial wellness goals, and we did that class back in January. So this weekend we are going to be reviewing our goals. We're going to be looking at what baby steps that we've taken, and how we can begin to empower each other to stick to our goals and move forward. So if you're interested in joining the mastermind for that, then obviously you can find all the details on my website. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. All right, take care. Bye now.